second piece of this is the sheet at after the values, okay? And that's your values create boundaries in your life. What most people don't realize is that we have boundaries that are created by the values, but we don't honor them. And the first signal we may not be honoring our boundaries is anger. All right? If you're starting to get angry and you don't know why, check your boundaries, okay? So what happens is each of your values can be translated into a type of boundary, and there are 3 types. 1, what will I allow in my space? 2, what will I allow but I don't like? And 3, what will I not allow in my space? For instance, one of my values is integrity. What I'm not going to allow in my space is lying, cheating, stealing, and infidelity, okay? One of my values is fun. What I will allow in my space: laughter, fun activities, enjoyment, okay?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Oh, chocolates. Listen, that's number 1 on the fun list. Who wants to volunteer a value and let's turn it into a boundary? And this is something you should do at home, because what this does is allows you to establish your boundaries. Why is this important? I got to tell you, I'm a caretaker. I'm a giver. And those are the worst people at establishing their boundaries. All right? And about 4 months ago, I woke up really angry at everybody. Really angry. And what I realized is, oh, wait a minute, I don't have anybody to be angry at but me. I'm the one who did not set the boundaries. So we had a family discussion about what are the boundaries. And I laughed because my 15-year-old said, well, you don't like the house to get real dirty. Okay, so I'll tolerate some amount of dirt, but it can't get real dirty. Who wants to take a value and let us translate it into possible boundaries? Somebody offer up a value.
Happiness.
Happiness. Ah, you probably really like happy, cheery people in your space. And this is a good one. Are you responsible for how other people behave and their attitudes? So that's allow but don't like. Don't like is unhappy people. Because you can't control whether somebody who comes into your space is unhappy. That's the second piece, is turning those values into boundaries. That's something that you can continue on your own. The third piece, I absolutely love this piece. I used to go, okay, what's the short term? What's the long term? What are the pros and cons? Sort of just had this loosey-goosey way of making a decision. Because let me tell you something, you're going to have a values clash in your life if you haven't already had one. We could talk about John Edwards. We could talk about Tiger Woods. We could talk about these people who've had value clashes and not known what to do. That's what 10-10-10 is about. This is the third piece of who am I, okay? Susie Welch wrote a book called 10-10-10, A Life Transforming Idea. She is the wife of Jack Welch. It's so much sexier and catchier than what I was doing, okay? And what she does is she says, turn your dilemma into a question and then look at it, pros and cons, at 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years, okay? And so I'll give you an example. My top value is, 5 top values. 1 is family, 1 is freedom, okay? My relatives called me and said, we're having a birthday party for Aunt Rose on Saturday in Richmond. Oh my God, my freedom. I got to give up my Saturday. 3 hours there, 3 hours back. I'm losing the Saturday that I spend laying on the couch, because that's what I do. I lay on the couch and I read. So I've got to give up my freedom. But wait, family's one of my top 5 values. Aunt Rose's family. I'll do whatever I can for my family and my extended family. My kinfolk need help, I'm there. So I got this values clash. So the question becomes, should I attend Aunt Rose's 75th birthday party? And I looked at it at 10 minutes. Oh, got to give up the Saturday, but I'll have fun. 10 months. Got to give up the Saturday. That's going to be a blip on the radar screen at 10 months. But having the memories and treasuring those memories of Aunt Rose's 75th birthday party and being with all of my relatives, and also knowing that if she's been very sick, if she passes away in those 10 months, I've gone and I've told her I love her and she knows I love her. Oh, okay, well, family's sort of winning out over freedom right now, isn't it? 10-year mark. Well, won't even remember that I gave up the Saturday. We'll remember I didn't go if she passes away. We'll remember I didn't go when we get together and everybody talks about it. So in that moment, within 5 minutes, I knew I had to go to Aunt Rose's birthday party. And that is a way to resolve a values clash, is to 10-10-10 that question. Now, I got to tell you, I have a 15-year-old who hates going to any family function. unless it's all of us going to watch him play tennis, okay? That's the only family function. As soon as he found out we were going to the birthday party, 3 days of barrage, jaw. Finally I said, Warren, I have 10, 10, 10 this, and let me show you what I've decided. And when he saw what I'd done, when he understood the reason why I was going, he said, you know what, Mom, I'll gladly go with you. And so it's not only about confidence in your own decision, but then you can convey that to other people, and they can see why you want to do it as well. All right? So that's the last piece. We've talked about the 3 pieces of the gas pedal, the leverage, your values, turning them into boundaries, and then knowing how to make a decision when there's a values clash, okay? The last piece of this is the structural conflict, which is the fear. And I want to tell you a quick story so you can see what fear does to us. First of all, when you stand up, and this is from the poetry of David White. He's an amazing poet, and what he says is, when you stand up, you are at your biggest vulnerability. It is the moment when you may suffer disappointment of all your hopes and dreams because you've stood up. You may undergo laughter, but you find out how serious you are about being big and bold and living the life that was designed for you. So there's fear in that. There's fear in standing up and owning all of the gifts you bring to the party, okay? And there's a fear in that for a lot of reasons. And my 15-year-old Warren wants to be the #1 tennis player in the world. Now that's a really kind of big vision and gives me I get a little worried about that because I don't want his heart to be broken. Because there's only room for one at the one spot, okay? But I'm a parent who believes I brought my children in the world to stand on my shoulders. And if I can make it happen, I will. So we were sitting there, Warren and I, and he just had a pretty difficult loss. And Warren has moments of brilliance. I watch him and I go, there's nobody who can beat him. I watch him and I go, where is my child? Okay? Where's the child that was playing tennis 4 weeks ago? So after this particularly difficult loss, I sat down with Warren and I said, son, you play erratic. What are you afraid of, honey? And he goes, Mom, what if I make it to Wimbledon and lose? And because I'm a compassionate and kind mother, I laughed. And I said, Warren, do you see the number your ego is doing on you? You'll be playing at Wimbledon. Don't miss the point here, son. You're in the first round, so what if you lose? Do you know how many people never make it to Wimbledon? You will be there. You will be there, son. And then he goes, but Mom, everything's going to change. And because I'm a kind and compassionate mother, I laughed at that one too. I said, son, everything's going to change anyway. Be in charge of the direction of the change. Don't get in the boat and let the water toss you around. You get in the boat with a paddle and make the direction of your dreams come true. And so I tell you that story so you can see what the fear of failure and the fear of change will do to us. It will keep us locked where we are. So this is what I tell Warren. Acknowledge the fear. Stand in it. Don't be afraid of the fear. Know that it is there, but go out and live boldly anyway. Because the only one who can choose to live boldly is you. No one can live your life for you.